underneath the guy. Just pour him right on the ground. He'd be fine. He'd be fine. Someone would come along, put another wheelchair. There's so many wheelchairs. So many right now. You can't steal anything that would jeopardize somebody's life, I don't think. Right? Yeah. So, I mean, religion was important then. It was like, don't steal the guy's plow, okay? Yeah. Not anymore, though, right? Fuck God, right? We gotta figure it out. We got it all figured out. Ha ha ha! That's right. What was it? What was the other one? What were the other ones? The other religious things. The commandments, right? Okay, well, heaven and hell. That was a way to control bad behavior, because bad behavior before 1980, whenever they had video cameras, those car keys, people would do horrible things all the time. Like if we didn't have laws, people would be running amok. Someone would have to shoot me. Like if I got to do like everything that I thought about, you'd have to kill me eventually. Okay, I'm going off on a tangent. Thank you.
Keep it going for John, everybody. He's not at risk at AIDS or any STI, really. Okay, on deck we have Juan Cisneros, but coming to the stage is Joey Mejia.
Thank you, Toria. Give it up for Toria. She's been great here. She's been keeping Seattle comedy strong at the Shanghai room. It is much appreciated. Min as well, fantastic. Really great energy. Shout out to that dude's birthday, 62. My mommy's birthday is today, actually, so wish my mother a happy birthday. Unless you hate me, and then, you probably didn't want her to birth me, so I'm not going to say her age, but it's the exact same age. Anyway. I did grow up in Maine. My name is Joey Mejia. I grew up in Maine. Some stuff happened to me as a child, traumatic stuff. Anyone have sibling trauma in here? A little bit of sibling trauma. As a 4-year-old, I was tricked. I entered a room. My brother was there.
It's not recorded.
Fake drinking perfume. Like, Joey, this is delicious. You gotta try this Kool-Aid. So I down a little bit of perfume, which probably explains why I'm up here as a comedian. And immediately, that's what happens when you drink perfume. And my mom walks in. She's like, "What did you do to your brother?" So that's just a little brother trauma I got out of the way. I like telling the world about how my brother poisoned me as a child. I did have a more recent near-death experience a little bit. I had a back injury, L4, L5, S1 sciatica, all those fun terms that I learned. I had to deal with some chronic pain. I was hunched over for a while. I ended up getting an epidural to attempt to resolve the pain like a pregnant woman does. It did not work for me at all. I actually got a blood infection, not the cool kind that comes with sex. From the epidural, got a blood infection. So I did have to be on IV antibiotics every 8 hours for about a month. That probably took some time off my life, but I don't think doctors tell you that part. But when the doctor came in and was talking to me, he was asking me, "Joe, you need to, do you want this treatment?" And I'm like, "You gotta help me out. I don't have any idea about doctor things." And he's like, "Well, Joey, if you were my brother, this is the treatment that I would recommend to you." And I was like, "What's your relationship like with your brother?" Because mine poisoned me as a child. Doesn't really call anymore. Anyway, that happened. My grandfather was a war hero. He was in a war and he's my hero, so I think that counts. But he didn't talk a lot growing up in Maine. We hung out. He taught me how to play poker, 5-card stud, 7-card stud, really fun. But he didn't talk a lot. But whenever we would leave Grampy's house, he would give this little signal, which I think is just like a nice way to live life, right? Like, take it easy, don't stress out too much. But now that I've lived in Seattle for about 15 years, I better understand. I know that he was just appropriating surfer culture. So, that on you, Grampy. I point up there, because hopefully, you know, he's up there. Alright. Maine is a state that is so woke. A lot of people, when they found out I'm from Maine, they're like, whoa, what's the politics like there? It's pretty similar to the Seattle vibe, I think, democratic and such. But Maine is a state so woke you cannot perform a hard R. Because the letter R does not exist in Maine. You drive a cab in Maine, you eat lobster. My mother was like very confident. She's like, Joey, you're gonna get the accent. I'm like, I'm 6, you already told me what the alphabet was, kinda. Anyway. Communication is important to me overall. Speaking of letters, the word library, when people mispronounce that, when they say library incorrectly, I do believe they're just trying to convince specific men of the world to be dishonest. If you think about the berries of the world are here in library. Is there any berries here? Is anyone named Barry? No? Cool. You have no excuse for your dishonesty then, all you. But the berries of the world, they're here in library. And I don't think Barry Bonds would have had an issue if the world wasn't subtly trying to persuade. Sammy Sosa, no excuse. That's a deep baseball reference, okay. I know Seattle's not a very... Thank you. Shout out to sports. I have weird conspiracy theories. Anyone like conspiracy theories here? Nice. One that is kind of weird to share, but I believe anal sex cures back pain. I'm not willing to really prove this, but he confirmed just now, I think. So, alright, that's my fun conspiracy theory. I do have one about Carlos Boozer. If you don't know, Carlos Boozer was a basketball player for the NBA. I believe Carlos Boozer was a very talented, like, college-level basketball player, but he was a fun personality, he was a fun guy. He wasn't cordyceps, he didn't cause the Last of Us outbreak. But the team is like, look, Carlos, you're a great dude, we like you, but your drinking's out of control. So what we're gonna have you do is sign this NDA, change your last name to Boozer, and just wear the shame on your shoulders for the entirety of your career, and then you can have that NBA contract. All right, I've been Joey, I'm still Joey. Thank you all for being here, love you.
Keep it going for the main Joey, everybody. And comics, I'm sorry to inform you, we are going to have to be going in 3 minutes. So many of you are so lovely.